All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another athlete interview. We are here with,
Jaden Peraza.
yes, this is Jane Peraza, aka Presley Peraza's brother, aka my brother. And Jaden, what do you do? Where do you
Well,
compete?
I am a high jumper at Moorhead State University. I am a fifth year, going on to my fifth year. And
Okay.
yeah, I do high jump. That's my main event.
Yeah. So, getting right into that, Jaden, why don't you list like some of the accolades and whatnot that you have done?
My accolades, huh? Well, it started when I was a senior. I jumped 6'8" for the first time. I thought that was pretty impressive. I set the school record. I tied it with Paul, my buddy. And then I got athlete of the year in college, my first year at VCSU. And then also in Moorhead, I got athlete of the year as well. And right now, my high jump PR is 7'1.5".
Yeah, he's also a two-time All-American, which he didn't say. But so with that, my last interview, I interviewed a basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're interviewing a track guy. So with track, do you have any meet routines, like, and take me through the about an hour before you start jumping?
An hour before I start jumping. Well, I always have to take like a pre-meet dookie. It's just, I don't know if it's superstition, but it always makes me feel a little lighter.
Makes sense. I mean, it makes sense.
And then I have to get a good warm up in also. I can't eat too much. I usually eat pretty light the day of before I compete. And yeah, I just stay hydrated really and just stay loose. It's about as simple as that.
Yeah, you see, like with track, I feel like track is one of those sports where you don't have to. It's not competition isn't as brutal unless maybe it's like a 800 or
Right. It depends on
a mile or something
the
like
event.
that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to an event like high jump, compared to basketball is it's a lot more brutal and it just takes a lot more out of your body during competition.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think it's kind of cool how it's like you eat really light before you go.
Yeah.
But like for me, for basketball, I cannot play without like a meal in my
A solid
stomach.
meal. Yeah.
Yeah, or else like I get issues if I don't do that.
So like, what do you eat before? Like, let's say the day of your game's at 5 p.m. What are you eating throughout the day?
Well, I'll wake up, eat big breakfast, normal breakfast, eat a normal lunch and whatnot. And let's say game's at 5.
Mm-hmm.
If it was my time, I would do about at 2 o'clock. I'd have like a pretty solid meal,
Really?
and I'd say like with that maybe like 3/4 of a Chipotle bowl would
So
probably
not
be
like
like
not
perfect.
the full thing, just a little bit.
Yeah, like 3/4 of that.
Would the viewers be creeped out if I was like this?
Okay.
Anyways.
So we talked about like part of your routine. Like, do you have any superstitions? Like specific, like I don't know, like you eat a Skittles before you jump, or like do you have any superstitions that way?
Honestly, the only thing I can think of is I do like gummy worms. Like those are like my pregame kind of like snack calories. That's the only thing I can really think of. Otherwise, not really.
Yeah, I haven't really seen a whole lot of track people and heard their like superstitions and that. But I know there's a lot of sports that superstitions are really big and all that.
Yeah, I mean it's different for everybody. I don't have anything too crazy. The biggest thing for me is just taking care of my body, feeling loose. That's really what matters more than candy for me or snacks.
Yeah, that makes sense. And so you said you come from Valley City before Moorhead, and so like how did that come about?
Well, I went to VCSU for my first 2 years because my coach really believed in me. I think that's a big part in college athletics is finding a coach that you can get along with and a coach that believes in you. And so I started that. And And then as I progressed throughout my high jump journey, I wanted to take it up to the next level, which for me was Division II. And I also got to work with another great coach when I transferred. So again, having another coach that believed in me, that was kind of the transition that I needed. But yeah, I'm just grateful for the whole journey together.
So, as you guys know, this is my brother, and so I've grown up with him forever, and we've always been competing with each other in the backyard or the basement or whatever it is. We just grew up competing against each other, and so yeah, Jane, you want to just talk about some of the things that sports in our lives growing up and when we were younger.
Yeah, for sure. I think that you were always a little more involved in sports than I was. Like, because, I don't know, for example, you did like travel basketball, like AAU. I never really did all that. I kind of just stuck to the school ball and stuff like that. So I think you were definitely a lot more involved with athletics at your young age than I was. But, I mean, growing up, yeah, you and I were always playing baseball in the backyard, basketball, just always competing.
It's true. There was it's one story. I don't know if I told you the other day, but we used to play knee baseball in our basement, and we'd be on our knees and pitch a little foam ball to each other. And we had like those souvenir bats, like this big from like MLB games and whatnot. Our dad got it for us.
Mm-hmm.
And we were playing this baseball, like knee baseball down the basement. And Jane pitches to me, and I swing as hard as I can. And the bat slips out of my hand. It goes out of my hand. It goes through the door. And there's a hole in our door.
I thought that was during Wii baseball, wasn't it?
No, it was with yeah.
Oh, that was a different time. You threw the Wii remote at the door because you didn't have the strap on. Remember that?
That's true, too. I never wore the strap. My dad always told me to wear the strap.
I'm pretty sure I won most of those knee baseball games. I can't really remember too well, but I do remember you throwing it into the door.
I did do that. That was funny. And we used to play knee football as well. We'd be on our knees in the basement again. We'd like play football with a foam ball, and if you got brothers out there, like you go at it. Like
it's competitive.
There's some elbows thrown, maybe a few fists here and there.
Do you remember
full tackle each other?
Remember the mini hoop that we would play?
Yeah.
Down in the basement?
Yeah, the mini hoops on the doors and whatnot.
And Dad put a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
It's competitive. It gets pretty competitive.
Yeah, we're playing with our dad, and he goes to one of the hoops and goes up for a dunk, and he trips and he falls through the wall. Our dad's 6'4", I don't know, big dude. He just put a hole in the wall.
That was so funny.
That was fire. That was really fire. Oh, man. As a certified UNC in the community, what would you say to high schoolers who are, being, maybe just finished up their junior year or seniors getting ready to go to college?
Mm-hmm.
What would you say to them before they go into college?
I think the biggest piece of advice that I would give is, it sounds pretty, like everyone knows this, but you don't have to have everything figured out. And it's actually the journey itself that is worth the experience. Because a lot of people think, I need to figure out where I want to go to college, what sport I want to do, what major, all of that. But in reality, it's not like that. It's messy, but it's different for everybody. But I didn't have a set in stone plan. I was transferring, I was going from place to place, and it just all works out in the end as long as you don't stress too hard about having a perfect plan. That's my best piece of advice I could give.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when it comes to college athletics, like the recruiting process is you're like, I have no clue what school's going to offer me.
Right.
This school they're talking to me, but I have no clue if they're going to pull the trigger and all that stuff. And I think when it comes to all that, like, where do I go to college? All that stress of who's going to offer me, where do I commit with all my offers? like it's gonna work itself out. And I remember one time but this was, I don't know, like after my junior year, I was all stressed about where to go to college,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, where do I commit? And I had these schools, and I was like, well, which one's a bad option? Which one's a good option? But it was never that, because they were both good options, or all of them were good options. And it really just, I came to this realization that it wasn't okay. Like, I would pray about it, and it wasn't, God, tell me, like, if you tell me what school to commit to, I will trust you and commit there. It was more of, like, I'm gonna commit to the school and go to the school and trust that God's gonna make something good out of it.
Right, like he's gonna guide you. And
Yes.
yeah, that's a great way to put it. Like originally, I was gonna go to college for basketball, and like
Yeah.
Presley said, it was some schools were talking to me, some were more interested than others, and ultimately, I ended up doing track. So I was like, I just trusted that the Lord had a plan for me, and it's just crazy how things just fall into place on their own, without me trying to force anything.
Yeah, and the thing is with Jaden's story, like he said he was gonna go play college basketball, but he didn't do track until his senior year. Like, and track starts in the spring, so like 2 months left of the school year is when he did track for the first time, and ultimately now at the end, we're nearing the end of his college career. Like, that's what he did. That's what he went to college for. And so I think that's just crazy. It's like a lot. Most people commit for basketball. I don't know, like the summer after junior year, or maybe like the beginning of senior year slash winter. But if you would have done that, then you wouldn't even had the opportunity to explore track,
Mm-hmm.
which is just crazy. And like, you just gotta trust God with those things.
Yeah, like I said, it's just weird how that all works out because I could have committed early and then I would have closed that door for track completely because I would have never known. So it's just like, that's why you also should try new things too. Like, taking a risk isn't going to harm you as much as you think it will because sometimes it'll actually pay off in the long run.
With that, like, you all know the whole transfer portal thing. There's a lot of people transferring, being like, oh, I want to go to this school, blah blah blah, and there's a lot of bad things with that. Like, people going to school for 1 year and then, oh, they just jump around 4 times. But
Mm-hmm.
you can always transfer. Like, let's say you get into a really bad situation and it's just really hard on you mentally and stuff like that. Like, wherever it is, I don't know, whatever situation, it depends. But that is always an option. And like, yeah, it's not always a bad thing to transfer. Like, Jaden transferred here to a good situation from a good situation. And I know people who have transferred from horrible situations, and it was ultimately just damaging to them to be at that school, and then they transferred to an amazing place, and now they're thriving.
Yeah, I agree. There's never really a clear plan. You kind of just got to go with the flow and trust your gut in most situations, especially your environments that you're in.
True that, gangster. So you are approaching your 5th year of college, which is crazy, Unk. And what are your plans after? Are you Are you looking to compete in a few, like, I don't know, like pro meets, things like that? Anything like that? I'm not sure how the track situation works with going pro or anything like that, but
Yeah, it's really windy. So for after college, if I can stay healthy, I would like to continue to compete. With track, going to the next level, it's really about marks that you hit. It doesn't really matter what age you are. It doesn't matter, what your background is. It's like if you can hit the numbers, then you can advance to certain meets to higher levels. And I'd be interested in seeing where I could go with that. I kind of keep that on the low. I don't tell a lot of people, but I do want to go farther because I feel like I'm still evolving as an athlete. And even though my time in college is coming to an end, I don't think that my athletic career is technically coming to an end either. Especially because this last semester of school, I was at my peak for track, and it's kind of crazy to say that after 4 years I'm at my peak, but I still think in the next couple of years I could continue to go higher. And so if I can keep myself healthy, then I would definitely be interested in trying to go higher.
Yeah, like what you said about like ages and all that. Like you see most Olympians and all that, like they're not 21, 20. Like most of them are like seasoned veterans in the field, and like they've been training for years and years and years. And yeah, you don't really see a whole lot of Olympians be college people.
Right. It's like a lot of it's very vast. Some are young, but most of them are older, and they do have that experience behind them, and that's what it is. There's no age limit to determine how good at an event you can be. I could be 22 and be at that level, or I could be 25. It's different for everybody, but
Mm. Um, so Jane's high jump coach was an Olympian, if you didn't know. But how old was he when he like went to the Olympics and all that?
I can't give you an exact number because I'm not entirely sure. But he was, I think, late 20s, early 30s
Mm.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Like you see, like all the best high jumpers in the world, like right now, they're all older. Like they're not young
Anywhere from
kids.
like 26 to 35. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
yeah, and even the young part of that range, 26, that's out of college
mhm.
by then.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to work with the coach. I got to go to all these elite meets. It's pretty neat to be a part of that.
Mm. Yeah, so you went to some elite meets. Like what meets and how was your? I believe you went to what, Long Beach.
Yeah,
And
I've
yeah,
been to nationals 7 times in my collegiate career, all the way from a fresh.
seven,
Yeah, 7 times,
seven.
and I'm hoping to add another one next year too. But I've been all over.
That's
I've been to
crazy.
Indiana. I've been to Long Beach, Virginia. Kind of foggy on the other ones, but yeah, it's fun traveling, and being at that level. There's so much great competition. I competed. I told Presley this the other day, but I competed against a high jumper who went to the Olympic trials. He went to the World Championships for high jump, and it's just crazy because I got to actually shake his hand at the meet. So it's pretty wild how that stuff works.
That is crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah, so like how was your experience like going to Long Beach and just like a long trip like that in California, and
Yeah.
obviously it's a business trip competing and whatnot, but like outside of the competition aspect of it, how was that and what'd y'all do?
It's so fun. It's so fun to be able to travel with your teammates, especially for a sport too, because there's something about it. It's like you're not going on vacation to just go sit on the beach. You're going on vacation to compete, and like you get to have fun with your teammates, go out to eat, get good food, and just create new memories. And I think it's so much fun. Like my experience on going to these faraway trips, it's just something about it. You can't top that.
Kid Sketchy, back to you. Yeah, no, I'm really excited for the long trips and all that, like with basketball and to get to new places. And like I've traveled a bit for basketball and AAU and stuff, but not really a lot. Like I've been to Wisconsin, Atlanta, Las Vegas, and I think like Nebraska and maybe a few other places, but nothing too crazy other than Vegas. Vegas was crazy.
Yeah, but it was a good time, wasn't it?
It was pretty fun,
you,
but
you just create a lot of memories on the road that it's like you look back one day and you're like, wow, I had so much fun doing that.
yeah, Vegas was crazy. It was crazy. We played. Well, the whole trip was like 6 days, and we only played for like 3 days. So then we had 3 days of just like being in Vegas and getting to go on the strip and kind of just doing whatever we want.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's pretty fun. It's pretty crazy though. You and me, okay? You and me, we're doing training together for 90 days. We're doing like a 90-day split of like, we're going through it. We're in the mud, Hell Week, Navy SEAL for 90 days, whatever. Which one of us breaks first, like mentally, and wants to give up?
It's a good question. I don't know. I don't want to answer out of pride, but like I know that we've done hard workouts before, and I'm usually the one leading you through them. You know.
I think that is true. What he has said is true because we have done hard workouts and he is usually leading me through them because I'm like, hey, you want to put me through a workout, one.
True.
And two, these are the workouts that he's been doing for a longer period of time. And those are just the workouts that I do after like a week of basketball season, which is a different type of conditioning.
It's also true. So you're talking straight mentality, but I think it comes down to what kind of workout and what the ultimate goal is.
True.
You know,
What if it's the ultimate goal is just being more athletic, running faster, jumping higher, and stronger?
might have to lean that towards you a little bit, to be honest.
I agree.
Just because you like to do programs on your own time, you take the gym pretty seriously, and I respect that. But I think that depending on what kind of workouts, though, there's a line that can be drawn. Because if it's straight conditioning or just like grueling drills, I think I could out tough you in that aspect. But if it's consistency, showing up on time, like that stuff, I think you win all day long.
That's a good point. I 100% agree with that. Like, conditioning workouts, I suck in. And I feel like just because you're probably more in shape for that type of thing, that it's just easier for you to do. And it would be a little bit harder for me. But I think when it comes to like these different drills, like plyometrics and I don't know, like lifting hard, anything like that, to where it's like actually hard. Like I'm one of those freaks where it's like if I get dead tired and my legs are all shaking and I'm jumping and stuff, like it just gives me this like dopamine rush and adrenaline rush that I just enjoy the crap out of it. And like I just enjoy that stuff. And when it comes to consistency, I would 100% put it on me because like that's just what I love to do. Like if you're saying we're waking up at 6 a.m. for the entire summer, I'd be like, heck yeah, let's go. That's the best way to start my day.
Yeah, I think that was a very loaded question with a lot of different answers to it, but I think that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
I think there's a time and place for each of us.
I agree.
So let's say we had to do 100 burpees. Who's getting out toughed in that?
I think I'm giving you. Well, like if we did 100 burpees, I think you're finishing first.
Okay.
And I think my form's gonna fall apart first, and I'm gonna kind of like not give it 100% first, but not like if we do 100 burpees, I feel like by 90 I'll be like kind of.
That is a lot of burpees.
Yeah.
My point was that depending on the workout or exercise, I think it could change answers very quickly.
Yeah.
For each of us.
So with track is one of those odd sports where there's not a lot of people who just like, hey, want to go to the track meet tonight? Like that's people don't really say that.
Mm-hmm.
And so like with track, what's something like a casual average Joe just doesn't know about it?
Well, I think most people would think that track could be a grind, but in my experience, like yes, you do work hard, but like at the meets themselves, you have a ton of free time. Mm-hmm. Unless you're a loaded event kind of person, which I never was. In high school I was, but even then, I would have 4 events throughout the weekend and I would still have a ton of free time. And it's just like you get to have so much free time, especially with me being a main high jump. Like I think most people don't realize that. Like, I get to sit around and do whatever I want most of the day. And if the event is early, then I get to sit around all the afternoon. It's pretty sick, actually.
It is true. Yeah, like a track competition. Like whenever basketball season would roll around, it's like, oh yeah, this is military training. Like I'm going through it, got to tough it out. And then track comes around, and it's like frolicking through a field of flowers.
Okay,
And
that might be a little.
I mean, I'm being honest. Like track workouts, I remember my teammates for track. They'd be like, "Man, this workout is so hard. I'm so tired. I can't do this. I hate track. I'm gonna quit." And I was like, "This is easy, and I find this super fun."
I
And
get what
then-
you're saying.
yeah.
I was referring more to the meets because
Yeah,
I think the
yeah.
off-season training is pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie.
It's true.
But like once the season begins, it definitely, you're maintaining rather than building, and I think it does get a lot easier. But those hill sprints are no joke, especially the 200 and 400 repeats. Those are awful.
Yeah.
There's a difference between running it and hitting your times. Because if you just run it, it's like fine. But if you hit the times that you're supposed to, I promise you, it feels so much worse than it really.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But no, like with track, I've made this analogy before. Like a basketball game is so like it's just such. There's just so much like adrenaline going and crazy sweat. You're tired. You got to get up. Like it's like 40 minutes of just brutal intensity.
True.
And then track, it's like you go to long jump and
Yeah.
you sprint for 4 seconds and then jump
True.
3 times.
That's what I mean. Depending on your event, it could be a walk in the fields, as you say. But what if you're a 400 runner?
If you're a multi
is,
you're doing something crazy.
It's hard. It's hard on the body, but
That is.
I've had a lot of workouts where I've thrown up. From running, and that's when I would disagree that it's not always a walk in the field. But
I think I've only thrown up after one workout, and that was when I was like younger. I've had a track practice where I like passed out. Like after my practice, got in the car, drove home, was in my yard, like got out of the car, and I was walking into the house, and I just passed out in the lawn.
Yeah, no, I've experienced that before too.
Yeah, and that was like during my low blood sugar thing, and then we didn't know I had low blood sugar. And
so I got a question for you. What do you think, since we're on this topic, is more physically demanding, a basketball practice or a track practice? And the reason I ask this is because during basketball you work on free throws, technical, dribbling, up and down, transitioning stuff. But with track, it's not even really a practice. It's just a workout. Which obviously I'm not discrediting basketball practice, but the way I would look at it is when you run 17s for conditioning, like that would be considered a workout that maybe track people would do on the regular.
Yeah. Well, the thing that I've noticed in college is like our college practices are a lot of playing, and a lot of that playing is like you have like blue team and white team, and like you're playing and whatnot, and like you're just going hard, and it'll be like half court here, and then the other team gets a full court, and then you get a full court, and like that in itself, like that's brutal, and it's probably like a shot of like a minute and a half, maybe less, but you'll do that for a long time, and like it's pretty grueling. And then comes into defense. Like defensive work is crazy. That's a different level right there. And depending on the coach, it's like for the day, you might go super long with that. You might go not too bad. But one thing I've noticed is like a track practice is also like a track workout. It's a lot shorter than a basketball practice would be. Because like a normal basketball practice, like 2.5
Yeah, that's a long time.
hours.
It's a long time.
Yeah, and then track, it's about 45 minutes to an hour because you are working so hard, and you do it in this short amount of time. You just do it.
Right. That's a good point.
So I don't know what I'd say is harder because some track practices they'll put you through the ringer, especially if it's 400 repeats. If you run those,
Yeah,
so
that's don't even talk about those, bro.
oh man, yeah, that's brutal. 45-second tests.
Yep, those two. I thought I would just ask because I think it's unique, you know. Like basketball, you go to practice, but you also get that workout in too. Whereas with track, it's like you can practice technical stuff too, I guess. So it goes both ways.
Yeah, the
It does go
technical
both
days in track are just
Yeah,
heavenly.
Those are fun. Those are good days.
Those are really fun, and everyone's just laughing with each other and all that.
Yeah, especially during high jump. You know, you just get to warm up, high jump with the boys, and it's a good time.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's the end of athlete interview number 2. And yeah, I hope you guys put this on just like the background while you're getting ready, or I don't know, just chilling, put it in the background while you're scrolling on your phone, something like that. Just a little piece of media to get in your ear. And yeah, I hope y'all enjoy this. Comment down below what athlete in what sport I should interview next. And thank y'all for watching.
See ya.
It's 10:30 and I'm going to go to bed. Bye.